Another episode of Off the Leash brought to you by the Racing Post in association with Premier Greyhound Racing. Tony Bullen, the Racing Post, open race correspondent, joins us as ever. A mad time, obviously the Ground Derby kicking off as well, Tony, but the Golden Jacket now in full swing.
Yeah, no, obviously the cream, as expected, rose to the top. There was a couple of upsets, but as a whole, a majority of the fancied runners managed to qualify.
I think only Garfinny Blaze of the so-called big guns fell by the wayside. But we'll bring you all of that. We're going to look forward to the 3 semi-finals as well as the best bets. Episode 58 here on Off the Leash. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Give us a comment as well if you're watching on Facebook. Let us know who you fancy to win this year's Golden Jacket. Let's jump straight into it then. Last Saturday, 36 became 18. We're going to give you all 6 first round heats. So the first one, Bombay Nutty for Mark Wallace. There is a running theme here. Out of track 5, 41-45. Baywatch Bulletin for the Regency winner in 4. Radical Scobie in the 2. So 5-4-2. Pretty straightforward though from Bombay Nutty here.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we touched on last week. He enjoyed that confidence boosting win at Perry Bar, and it was a race, Dave, where there wasn't a lot of natural early pace in there. So Bombay Nutty, he quickly took himself to the front, and once in front, he was never in danger. I mean, Baywatch Bullet, who's a familiar name on this show, she's run her usual honest race, but once Bombay Nutty had got loose, it was all over, really.
2.5 lengths the winning distance. They're really straightforward performance from the 2's on favourite, one for Mark Wallace and the MWD partnership out of track 5. He had a great draw and he made full use of it. Right. Heat number 2 then, winning time here, 41-24. Boxes to focus on, 2, 5 and 1. Mongys Wild, All Right Patricia and Hacker Carlo, and another one for Mark Wallace and the NWD partnership. This is the ground that I thought was the dog to beat, and I still think that now. This was brilliant, Tony. He's all pace, power, certainly plenty of stamina, and a massive engine, Mongys Wild.
Yeah, he's just a monster. When he sees daylight and he's given a bit of racing room, you can see the pace that this fella possesses, and he's so versatile. He can cope with an extreme marathon, a stiff 6 bends, and probably even an easy 6 bends with a run. He had to look after himself early, but once he got going, he just cruised to the front. And the fact that he only led at the 5th bend and still won by over 6 lengths tells you how much of an engine the dog's got. I thought 6 was a little bit unlucky not to qualify. Millridge Tanich just got held up quite a lot, did a lot of running. And all right, Patricia chased home Mongys Wild in the TV trophy. But yeah, he's a machine, this dog. Only 1 defeat, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the concern coming into this was it might be on the sharp side for him. But with daylight, I don't think it'll matter.
No, it's the bit of a longer run to the turn obviously helps. But yeah, he's just an absolute monster of a dog. He's answered every question that's put to him, really.
Yes, 41-24, 6 1/4. All right, Patricia and Hacker Carlo also qualifying. Another one for Mark Wallace and MWD partnership in Heat 3. New in Cloud, 41-56 here in the 4 box, winning by a length and a quarter from one of the locals, Magical Luna. We also got Hogan's Hawk here, who was the even money favourite for Seamus Cale in the blue jacket. So 4, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, Harlequin Beauty probably spoiled the chances of Hogan's Hawk winning this particular heat by beating that rival to the punch. But New in Cloud, we did touch on, like, the prices were a little bit wider than they should have been probably. I know Hogan's Hawk had won that event at Oxford, the Hunt Cup, but New in Cloud is a dog that's been running really well in success and defeat on his travels, Grand Prix finalist at Sunderland, and he's just got that never say die attitude at the moment. He just never gives up the chase. Magical Luna looked threatening when turning in a position, but she can just lug in sometimes when alongside dogs. She's not the smoothest at passing, and New in Cloud was, and he brought his stamina into play.
Yeah, I think he's a dog that would be a real handful if he gets off the front, New in Cloud as well, which he can.
Yeah.
On the Magical Luna bitch, I think she's just desperate to pass on the inside, and she seems very, very reluctant to check out wide and go by.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she's got plenty of pace. She sort of improved dramatically at the back end of last year, and then all of a sudden she's been trading blows with the cream. But yeah, that does let her down. The track craft can be letting her down a bit.
Yeah, I think I was at Oxford one night and she broke the track record over the 8 bends there. So she can certainly run, but she wants the inside desperately. Hogan's Hawk, the other qualifier, so 4-1-2. Right, we go to Heat 4, and Mark Wallace let someone else have a go here. Savannah Regimental for Diane Henry, led at the 5th turn, 41.30, good clock. Deadly Disco in 5, Ballymac Taylor in 2.
Yeah, I mean, we was all looking for Deadly Disco to dance all over the opposition once again, but he completely made a hash of the start. I mean, he turned behind Ballymac Taylor, which tells you how bad a start he got. But it was Magical Bertie that was probably expected to take them along, but staying. This just goes to show you this extra metres, Dave, this extra 50-odd metres is a massive factor. And Magical Bertie was running on empty in the latter stages. All credit to the winner, Savannah Regimental. Got a nice toe into the race and did the job well, but Deadly Disco Connections would have breathed a sigh of relief having made a Horlicks at the start.
Well, a sigh of relief, and I reckon they would have been absolutely delighted as well, because I thought it was a hell of a run. He showed that he's perhaps not a one-trick pony, needs to crash out and make all. But yeah, nice performance from the winner. It was quite lightly raced, Savannah Regimental. Good clock as well, as I mentioned, 41.30. Right, heat number 5 then. There was plenty of money around for Intriguing Iris, both to win this race and at big prices anti-post. Nathan Hunt's charge doing the business outside boxes 5/6. Savannah Jackpot as well in the 3 here. This was a dream come true, really, for me, because the 2 price-wise picks and 2 dogs that I pop on here last week. All Right Goldie and Savannah Jackpot both qualified. Obviously, the disappointment here, Tony, was Trap 1 Garfinny Blaze. It was a short price favourite. We know a multiple big race champion. He crashed out. 5, 6 and 3, though, go through.
Yeah, I made it a non-betting heat. The way that Garfinny Blaze had run in a prep race last weekend, he's clearly not firing on all cylinders, as he's shown by being eliminated here. But anyone that's been watching Intriguing Iris would have noted that she probably was going to appreciate a little bit of extra distance, and she certainly showed a lot more urgency at the boxes. And when she got off the front, it was always going to be an uphill task for the others, because she had been staying on okay over the 630 metres and even running well over the 575 at Romford. All Right Goldie, he's a Trojan of a dog for Connections. He just put him in the van, take him to any track, and he'll run his heart out. He rarely finishes out the first 3. Savannah Jackpot, he's a capable dog when he gets it right, but his wins to runs ratio are few and far between.
Okay, right, that was the finishing order there, 5, 6 and 3. And then we get to the 6th and final heat, the standard setter, and of course back to normal service resumed here. New Destiny for the NWD partnership and Mark Wallace, 40.99. 11's on as well, the SP here. An absolute demolition job, 4 3/4, beating Savannah Ginger and Skylar's Visioner. You gave a big mention to it, a huge price last week, 1, 6 and 5. And the referee could have waved this off at the second bend.
Yeah, look, it was a straightforward assignment for New Destiny. I mean, she was guaranteed to lead and do what she does best, win by wide margins, posting fast times. And she did really set the standard, dipped under the 41-second barrier, Dave. She's very difficult to pass. I know, like, your Mongys Wild dogs and that stay really well, but it's got to take a big effort from one of the dogs to back run New Destiny. If she gets on the bunny early, and 15.34 split suggests that she'll turn in front of the fellas more often than behind.
Yeah, 15.34 split, so she could probably compete over 2 bends as well in a sprint at Monmore. But yeah, she is a class act, a multiple big race champion. She's smashed track records left, right and centre. Who knows, maybe she'll lower the clock here as well, but she was fastest in the first round. New Destiny there, 40.99. Right, as I mentioned, 36 became 18 on Saturday night, and this Saturday, live on the Premier Greyhound Racing Service, we've got the 3 semi-finals of the £20,000 PGR Golden Jacket. 684 metres, speed and stamina required. This is semi-final number 1, 10 out of 10. Ladbrokes first out the boxes with prices for the heats. 7.22, Savannah Jackpot in the red at 20s, Radical Scoby 16s, New Destiny 4-6, Bombay Nutty 7s, Deadly Disco 9-4, All Right Patricia 12-1. Tony, I thought New Destiny could be shorter than 4-6, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's probably about right. I mean, if Deadly Disco traps on terms, then it's going to be a great race because he's got 40.94 to his name, and obviously claimed the sculpt of Mongys Wild as well over course and distance. But I think she leads the inside day. She should have the legs of 1 and 2, bosses the inside once again, and keeps the foot firmly on the gas.
Yes, going to be very hard to beat. New Destiny in semi-final. Number 1, 2 votes for Mark Wallace's bitch. 7:39 is semi-final number 2. In the red, Hacker Carlo 28-1 for Simon Deakin. Mongys Wild 3 on. Baywatch Bullet 7s. Savannah Regimental 6s. Intriguing Iris, who is a very impressive heat winner, 8s. And Savannah Ginger at 16-1. 1 to 3. Is it a simple case, Tony, of a clear run needed, and that will be that?
Yeah, daylight. If he gets daylight and racing room when he's in full flight, he barges his way to the front and pulls clear. The further they go, the further he should pull clear. But as I say, with his style, you always feel that he could get held up in traffic, but I just can't see it, Dave. I just think he's a brute of a dog. Even if he found a little bit of trouble, I think he's the type of dog that would shrug it off and knuckle down to the task. I think Intriguing Iris, I'd keep her on side once again. I mean, if she could crack out like she did in the heat, and he does get held up, who knows?
You've called him a brute and a monster. Mongys Wild, certainly a worthy favourite for semi-final number 2. Let's move on to the third semi-final then, which is without a doubt the most competitive when you look at the betting. Bannermac Taylor on the inside 9-4, Hogan's Hawk 5-2, Magical Luna 8, New In Cloud 2-1, Skylar's Vision a pony 25s, and All Right Goldie in the stripes. I'll kick off. I think Hogan's Hawk has got a better chance of leading this time around, and I think she can get off the front and make all. Do you concur?
Yeah, she'll miss the break and pace up and lead these by the winning line first time. I think this is a good opportunity for Hogan's Hawk. She was denied the luxury of leading in the first round last week. She won't be this time around, and I think she'll be in control throughout. Dave, obviously, you're keeping an eye on Magical Luna, New In Cloud, Ballymac Taylor, and All Right Goldie. Skylar's Vision might just find this a bridge too far, having run well to qualify last weekend. But yeah, I think she gets off the front comfortably, wins the sprint leg comfortably, and I don't see any reason why she cannot repel the stronger runners.
Well, that is going to be Catch Me If You Can in semi-final number 3. All on Saturday night at Monmore, live on the PGR service. Right, I mentioned 36 became 18. We are down to 18 talented stayers in this year's £20,000 Premier Greyhound Racing Golden Jacket. Semi-finals on Saturday night. We'll have a little peek over the outright book as well. Last week, tips. Tony was all in on New Destiny, nothing else required. I've put up Mongys Wild, but All Right Goldie and Savannah Jackpot at big prices. This is the market now. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Garfinny Blaze really the only big gun to have been knocked out. But New Destiny now clear favourite 9-4. Mongys Wild 3s. Deadly Disco 11-2. 14's bar with Bannermac Taylor and Bombay Nutty there. I suppose you're sticking. You're not twisting here. 9-4. We've made a good case for her, an obvious case for her to make all in a semi-final. I'm sure you're still in the camp of New Destiny. Am I right?
I certainly am. I don't want to. I don't want another card. I've got Ace King, so I'll stick, Dave.
Okay, right. We're going to go head to head because I'm going to stick with Mongys Wild as well. So they're the front two in the market. I'll be hoping that the price-wise picks All Right Goldie and Savannah Jackpot can qualify. But it is red hot. First two will go through, remember, in the 3 semi-finals. There's £20,000 up for grabs in next week's final. Right then, Tony, it is that time. Best bets of the week. I do have the honour here after good rainbow, back of the net, 5-2 last week. But I'm a gentleman. I'll let you go first. Where are we off to? Anywhere you like. This is being recorded on Wednesday. Entries are, there's plenty on show, sort of Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm assuming you're going one of those days. Where are we off to?
Yeah, I'm going Thursday at Hove. I mean, obviously, at the time recording, there isn't as many races that are out to look at than there probably should be. But I like Blue Jig Baron in Heat 1 of the Coral 515 Trophy at Hove on Thursday. He's just a prolific scorer for Dave Lee. He got good form at Hove. The 515 metre distance is perfect. Track 4's ideal. I think he'll lock horns with Our Mystery on the run to the turn. Just showed a better middle pace. and do the business.
Yeah, class act as well. That's the 6.59 at Hove. I'm also going to go to Hove as well. It's a really good card there. Probably a few dogs that you might have thought would be in the Derby, the likes of El Tornillo, etc., that are not, that are on show at Hove. There is a maiden final, and I'm very strong on one. Moving False for Seamus KO. It was turned over at a short price in the heat last week. Very, very moderate from the boxes. Absolutely flew to the corner. I'm going to take a chance this dog can find a start and just zip to the corner and be away. Looks a really, really nice type. Moving False in the Coral 500 Maiden Trophy Final. That is the 807. So Moving False for me. And Tony is going with Blue Jig Baron. Tony, it's been a pleasure as ever for your company. We'll be back next week to tackle the £20,000 Golden Jacket Final, one of the biggest races of the year. You can catch the action, of course, live on the Premier Greyhound Racing Service, which is on the website or behind the red button on Sky Racing. Do remember to gamble responsibly. We'll see you next week.